Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the new Tier 8 premium campaign ship for the Japanese Navy, the mighty Musashi, aka Yami's sister ship. So, with that being said, let's look at our commander. We're running Takio Takagi with Paolo de Revel and Azure Lane Scharnhorst as our inspirations. If you do not have Scharnhorst, I would suggest maybe Andrew Cunningham. Just something to help your accuracy out a little bit. That being said, we are running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, Reaching Out, XXL, and Will to Rebuild as our inspirations. And our perks. Sorry. Anyway, let's look at what our actual build is. We are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Mod, and we are running Main Battery Mod 3. If we look at our loadout, we're running the Alpha Tester Flag, which is completely cosmetic, does nothing else. Not running any boosters. We have the camo that comes with the ship, and we have the spotter plane consumable with 2 heals. Survivability, you get 85,000 hit points with a 55% torpedo damage reduction. This is literally a Yamato at Tier 8, so keep that in mind. Artillery, we get 460mm 45 caliber. You get 3 by 3, so 9 of them. 19.1 kilometer firing range base, so not bad. And then 25-second reload time with a 36.1 second turn time. So literally identical to the Ami in every way. HE shell maximum damage 7,300 with a 35% chance to set fires, and AP shell maximum damage of 16,280. For secondaries, you get 127mm Type 89A1 Mod 2s. You get 12 of those, reaching out to 5.2 kilometers, reloading in 7.5 seconds, and firing HE shells with a maximum damage of 2,100 and 8% chance to set fires. Then you have the 155mm third year type. You get 12 of those, reaching out to 5.2 kilometers and reloading in 12 seconds, firing AP with a maximum AP shell damage of 3,300. AA defense, you don't really have any, but 13mm Type 93s, you get 4 of those doing 7 damage per second, reaching out to just 1.2 kilometers, so you might as well not even have those. Then you got the 25mm Type 96 Mod 2s that you got 36 of, doing 73 damage per second, reaching out to 3.1 kilometers. And then you have the 127mm Type 89A1 Mod 2s that you get 12 of that reach out to 5 kilometers and do 61 damage per second. So not a lot of AA, which is a real big problem at higher tiers, especially when we start seeing the legendary carriers. Maximum speed 24.3 knots, turning circle of 900 meters, and a rudder shift time of 15.9 seconds. Concealment. You have a 13.8 kilometer surface detection, an 11.6 by air, 2 is always guaranteed, and 16 kilometer smoke firing penalty. For armor, this is the Yami armor you all know and love. We've got the 32mm bow. We overmatch ourselves, and we are the only ones that overmatch ourselves. Musashi and Yami are the only 2 that overmatch 32mm. Alright, get rid of that, and that's when you start to see the Yami's biggest weakness, which is its cheeks. Easiest way to Citadel a Yami is to go through the cheeks. If you are shooting through the front, you can also hit the Citadel. If you aim towards the outside edge and try to hit that Citadel through the cheek again. Okay? And it is the same at the rear. As you can see, it is the exact same at the rear. If you can get through, actually it's easier to Citadel through the rear than it is the front. Cruisers can easily Citadel this thing, including Alaska. Alaskas can absolutely annihilate a Yami or Musashi through the rear of this ship. And it doesn't even have to be that close to do it. So keep that in mind. Alright? So, you guys know the Yami by now. It's got this funky Citadel. It's raised. So if you go broadside or if you get caught broadside, you're done. Especially at any sort of close range. You do have fantastic armor as long as you angle. But if you get caught, it's GG. You're done. You're going back to port. 9 times out of 10, you're done. Okay? Overview. Ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. Superior HE damage, above average HE shell damage, but if you're shooting HE out of this thing at anything other than a destroyer, you need to be taken out back and drawn and quartered. That's all I'm saying. There is only one ammo type you should ever fire out of a Yami gun, and that is the AP. Why? Because you overmatch literally everything except a couple of German battleships, which you still do overmatch the majority of them. You just have to aim higher. But FDG and Grosser the only ones that you do not overmatch. Okay? Everything else, you could shoot straight through the bow on. You're going to be hitting for 10 to 15K every salvo, sometimes as much as 20K plus. So it's disgusting. Big guns. This ship is armed with high-caliber main battery guns, aka the largest guns in the game currently. Musashi, a Yamato-class battleship, Yamato's only sister ship to be commissioned. That's not entirely true, because technically the Shinano, which was the Yami that was turned into a carrier, was actually used, but it actually got sunk like as soon as it was like sent out. One of our submarines said hello. But anyway, upon completion and contrasting her subsequently modernized sister ship, she had more powerful secondary battery guns, but weaker AA defense. She entered service in 1942. There were 4 of them in the series, but only 3 of them ever built, and one of them was a carrier, and the other 2 didn't really do much other than sink. Well, that actually is a theme for this entire class, actually. While they may be the biggest and most powerful battleships ever built, they also got sunk without really doing anything. So, they are well known, and they are probably the most expensive coral reefs ever built. As sad as it is, I mean, that is just the fact of the matter. But let's take a look at her. You guys know her by now. You got the beautiful Yami. Like, it really is a good-looking ship. Anybody who could take a look at this ship, you know it's a good-looking ship. It's just, it is the quintessential battleship, you know, big everywhere. Everywhere. Wide hips, you got big guns, you got lots of guns sticking out everywhere. It's just a good-looking ship. It really is. And, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on northern waters, and we're in the Musashi. Now, there's a few things I need to say right off the bat. What is Musashi? It is literally a slightly watered-down version of Yamato. And by slightly, I do mean the tiniest margin of watered down. This thing feels exactly like a Yamato at Tier 8. So, all of y'all that thought being a Tier 7 was not going to have to fight Yamis anymore, you're wrong, because you get the Musashi. And even better is, this Musashi is going to completely proliferate the matchmaking, because, I mean, the other Yami, you have to go through the Bureau project, and you have to, you know, do all that, and who wants to do that when you can pay 2,500 gold and get this thing unlocked in a couple of weeks? Yeah. Yeah, it's that dumb. So, this thing has all of the benefits of the Yami. The only thing that really stands out to me as not quite as good is the AA, and honestly, it's not that big a deal, at least not yet. I have been harassed by carriers here and there, but it doesn't really affect you that much, because at the end of the day, you're still a Yami, and the benefits far outweigh the negatives as we reach out and we say hello to the Amagi, Bushido style. Pow! 35,000 damage, first shot at 18 kilometers. Really? Something tells me that Amagi is about to have a great game. Yeah, he's going to have all the fun. Oh wait, we're going to try it again. Now, fortunately, this Amagi actually decides, you know, this guy just took half my health. Maybe I shouldn't continue in a straight line, and he actually turns away from us, which is the right play to make there, because we only get one more pin, and it actually does no damage. Now, you can see we're angled away from the Jean Bart, or Jean Bar, as some people like to try to tell me. But Jean Bart is bow into us, and, you know, the good news is, it doesn't matter if he's bow in. It doesn't matter! What matters is 460mm guns. Just say hello. Like, this is the problem. Like, it overmatches everything at its tier. It overmatches literally everything except FDG and GK. This thing gets to go up against tier 7s, and tier 8s. And then sometimes not even legendaries. And God help you if you were God help the enemies if you were the only 460mm guns in the game. Which, by the way, we have been. And it ends as poorly for the Reds as you'd expect. I actually had a game in a map called Hotspot where I quite literally hold off the entire enemy team solo, while my team wraps up the other side of the map and then comes over to eventually kill the rest of the Reds that I leave alive after I get YOLO rushed by a Weimar. Which is the only way that I got taken out. Like, Battleship after Battleship tried, Battleship after Battleship failed. We ended up with like 180k again. Like, that's pretty much normal for this ship. Alright, put that into perspective. 150 to 180k is kind of normal for this ship. I mean, do you need to say anything more? Now, Jean Bart has lost all of his hit points. He's been torped, he's been shot through the bow multiple times. He's not long for this world. And we're not really even afraid of him. And that's one of the other issues that I run into with this ship and the Yami, is that you just don't have anything to fear. Like, there's literally nothing that you're going to come up against that is going to scare you. As long as you angle decently, you're fine. Like, what are they going to do? A little bit of damage here and there, and you're going to be hitting them for freaking tactical nukes, for God's sakes. So, I don't understand why Wargaming released this ship. I don't understand what the point... Actually, I know exactly why they released the ship. It's a money grab. They want money. And, yeah, I mean, look at that. Do you need to say anything at this point? Like, literally every shot that we take is like 10k plus. No matter what you're shooting, no matter where you shoot it, it's like 10k plus. Now, Brandenburg here is thinking about coming around the corner. You can see we're looking up. We're trying to go potentially deck pins and superstructure. He's trying to use the island as best he can, and to his credit, he gets away with only managing to lose a gun temporarily, which is probably the best kind of outcome he could have thought he was going to get. Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge a Brandenburg. That would be stupid. So my goal here is to bait him out. If I bait him out, there's a good chance that he runs into torpedoes. And you can see there are torpedoes on the way. So I'm going to turn inside to show kind of a broadside here and see if I can get the Brandenburg to move forward. And that's going to allow me to punch him as well. And sure enough, it works like a charm. He comes forward, and not only does he come forward, but he beaches himself on the island, so he doesn't even get a chance to torp us. And yeah, he's going to eat some torpedoes. Hope you enjoyed, and we get to go through the bow side plating as well, getting a couple of pins there. And yeah, as we get closer and closer, he gets less and less likely of doing any real damage to us, and we are going to be able to punch straight through that bow side plating at a better angle and really, really do some damage this time. And the other thing is, have you guys seen any terrible dispersion yet? I haven't. There's a 16k right there. Pow. He's just done. There's nothing he can do. At this point, he's just waiting to die. And there's more torpedoes on the way. Now, because we're not going to go around that way, we're going to turn back towards the mid and try to get ourselves in a position to intercept the rest of the team. Now, Le Fantasque gets spotted here, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can't help. Because if you see a destroyer, you shoot destroyers. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but again, we hit 4 out of, 9 shells, which is, not quite half, but pretty close to half. Take a good chunk off of him, leave him alive, and we go on to the next guy that we can try to balance. Now, Kaga, sailing kind of angled away from us. This is a beautiful opportunity to showcase, Yami shells versus a not really armored target, and lo and behold, we take over half his health too. It's just easy mode, man. Yamis are easy mode. Whether it be Yami or Musashi, it is literally easy mode. You get a big red button that you push every like 25 seconds, and just the world ends. That's how it works. It's like dropping tactical nukes every time you pull the trigger. And there's nothing anybody can do against it. There is literally nothing anybody can do about it. You're just throwing nukes at them, and there's nothing in it. You can't angle because they overmatch. So, I mean, the best you can do is hope that the Yami or Musashi is dumb enough to shoot your belt armor as you're angled. But let's be real, that's not likely, because most people understand that they overmatch, and all they have to do is shoot towards the bow or the stern of your ship and avoid the belt completely. Now here we're going for the double kill, and of course, unfortunately, we don't get it because the 2 shells fall short, and then our last gun hits, but only 2 of the shells hit, so one of them avoids him, and he lives. But 181,000 damage, as easy as it could possibly be. Didn't do anything particularly amazing in our gameplay. Like, we weren't in great positions. We just bullied people, and that's what it comes down to. That's what this ship is. It's a bully. You just sail around and you push the easy button on people. That's all it is. So if you guys are interested in that, pay that 2,500 gold, do all your missions and stuff, get the ship unlocked. I wouldn't recommend buying it all the way out, spending 27,500 doubloons for day 1. Don't recommend that. But for those of you who are interested in just pressing the easy button, get that 2,500 gold. Go out, have a little bit of fun in your Musashis, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.